You're listening to the Sensuality Project podcast, where the messiness of real life gets sexy, hosted by Stacey Herrera. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Episodes contain profane language and topics of a sexual nature that may not be suitable for children. Listener discretion is strongly advised. Welcome to another episode of the Sensuality Project podcast. I am your host, Stacey Herrera. What are we in the third week of January? Third week of January. And yeah, 2018 is expansive. 2018 is expansive and not without challenge, but so much expansion. Like, it feels really spacious here. I feel like there's so much space for all the things. Like, I feel like everything is possible. Of course, we're only 3 weeks in, so I guess I should be feeling very optimistic and open about it, right? I hope you're feeling like that. Yeah, so a lot has happened this year already in these very short 3 weeks. There has been a lot of movement, a lot of really great conversations. I think that energy is shifting and the feminine is feeling really empowered. And yeah, it's really, really nice. I'm enjoying that. And my guest this week, we talk a lot about all the things that have been going on. And this episode was recorded back in late 2017. So some of the things might seem dated, but they're still very relevant. We explore a lot of the things associated with the Me Too movement, and we talk about everything, and we are very candid. So my guest is Stephanie Williams, and she's also a podcaster. She's so fucking funny. I laughed so much during this episode. I laughed all over again hilariously while I was editing this episode because she's just really real and really just naturally funny. Like, she's funny as hell. She's got this really great laugh. Like, Sophia Wiseman has a really great laugh too. So last week's episode, I love when I can feel someone who is laughing genuinely, and both of them are like that. So Stephanie is got a really great laugh. But on this episode, we talk about a lot of hot topics and controversial topics. Like, we explore race, we give opinions, we talk about our experiences. So I just want to disclaim for anyone who might be sensitive or easily offended that nothing that we said during this episode was intended to be offensive. We were merely sharing our experiences and our opinions about certain subjects, as everyone is entitled to do. So, yeah. But I'm glad to be having the kinds of conversations that might spark dialogue around, even tender subjects, because I truly believe that in order for us to transform out of the murkiness that we have found ourselves in as a culture and as a society, I believe that in order for us really to move out of it, dialogue is our most important tool for making change. So I'm excited to have a platform to be able to talk about everything. And this was one of those conversations. So I know you're going to enjoy it. I'm going to stop talking now. So listen up. Okay. So first question.
Okay.
Ashy lips or crusty toes? If you had to choose between the two, which one would you choose? Ashy lips or crusty toes?
Ooh, since I ain't touching no fucking feet. Oh God. I have to go with the toes because I ain't touching your feet and I ain't kissing no ashy lips. I ain't looking at him. It's like,
Yeah, I one time dated a guy, long time. I dated him for a long time, and I had never seen his feet. He always kept his socks on, and I didn't think much of it. He had told me that he had been, that his feet were kind of messed up from being in the service or whatever, and I had never seen them. And then there was this one day that I had been wearing my contact lenses for a couple of days and I took them off because my eyes got irritated. But like when I took them off, I couldn't see that well. Like it was like I normally couldn't see, but it was really bad because I had been used to seeing so many days in a row. And that particular day, he came over and he took a shower and I was squinting so hard trying to see his feet. And I couldn't because I literally couldn't see. So I never did in all of those years. I never, ever saw his feet.
What?
I never saw him. I never saw him. Cause after that one time, like I was squinting and there was like a candle light going. So it like the light was flickering so much. So I was really straining and I still couldn't see them. So after that, I was like, fuck it. I'm just not meant to see those feet because I was worried that if I saw them, I might my feelings might change.
Man, you'll be like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang.
Right?
You'll be like, what? Get out the bed. Let me get out of here.
Exactly. Let's see. So what's your, I know that you like cocktails. What's your go-to drink if you are on a bad date?
Oh, Lord. Hennessy. I need something strong. Hennessy. Henny and Coke. Bring me a Henny and Coke.
Okay.
I'm like, I need something strong. I need to somehow forget this night. Get out of my face. I would say Patron. However, that might loosen me up a little bit. And I'm like, no. I might try to fuck this dude. And I'm like, no. Let me get some Henny because that'll just make me mean.
I love it. Okay, last question. Okay, this one is like a descriptor. So I'm going to give you three descriptors, and then you tell me what the thing is. Okay. So first one, I'm into leather and handcuffs. 2, my big stick hangs from my waist. And 3, I can pull out when you least expect it. What am I?
Wait, say the first one again.
I'm into leather and handcuffs. Okay. My big stick hangs from my waist, and I can pull out when you least expect it.
Oh, gosh. Oh, man. I should be good at these, and I'm not.
Look,
what's going on with me?
I'm not good at them. I'm not.
I was going to say either a cop or a closet, and now I don't know.
Well, I think that you're good at them because it's policeman.
What? Because I was like, wait, pull out of any spot. I'm like, hold up.
Look, yep, you're good at them.
Yay!
There have been I think you're maybe the third person since I've been doing the podcast that has got them. I never get those because my brain is in the gutter immediately.
Because I was like, pull out. Because all I heard was leather and handcuffs. I'm like, oh, word?
Look, speaking of leather and handcuffs, is that your flavor if someone says, can I tie you up? Is it yay or nay?
It's a yay.
Look.
But it's got to be somebody that I have that connection with, like some random dude that I just met or I swipe right on. Yeah, I want to tie you up. Sir, you could rob me. I just met you, sir. But if this is my boo, we trying this.
I heard that. There's so many things when I was younger that I think when I was younger, I objected to a lot of things just because of conditioning and not because of my own pleasure, So there were a lot of things that I was just like, I'm not.
You're like, no.
But now, if I feel safe with the person, I'm with it. I'll try it once. Unless it's something that's just, unless it's gross or groceries. My little nephew used to say groceries. Unless it's groceries.
I like that.
Yeah, now he.
I don't want to do that. That's groceries.
That's what he used to say. He's like, that's groceries. So unless it's gross, I'm with it. But I'm not. I mean, I don't have any. I don't think I have any kinks, but that's relative. I don't think I have any kinks. So the kinky things that I have tried, it was the other person that desired that. It wasn't necessarily me. I think I'm pretty vanilla, but I'm willing to add on to the sundae. If that's your flavor,
that's what it is.
I'll go with it.
Yeah, I'm the base of the sundae, but if you want to add whipped cream and caramel and hot fudge and a cherry and then nuts, I'm okay.
Okay.
Add that. Let's see if it tastes good. I mean, You're going to find out. I'm like, if it's bad, it's just a mistake you made once.
Thank you. I mean, because you don't have to do anything more than once. And you can stop in the middle if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be like, you know what? I thought I wanted to try this with you, but I'm not really feeling it. And it's completely okay if you stop.
Right.
Which is the thing, like, especially like in today's climate where like all this, accusation and harassment and stuff. I think that it's a really important.
Lord.
Right?
And it's a new one. And there's a new one.
Who's the new one?
Mario Batali.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Look, I'm already seeing his little rosy cheeks on the Food Network.
I was like, what? Because a friend of mine on Facebook went, "Are you surprised by Mario Batali?" I'm like, wait, what, is he dead? What? No!
I didn't hear that.
Yes, 4 women accuse him. He is stepping away from all of his businesses and being pulled from the chew.
Can I just say that it ain't gonna be no men working. Like,
that's fine with me.
It ain't gonna be no men working.
Ain't gonna be no men. Yeah, let y'all niggas stay home and raise the kids. Stay home. It's safe for you there.
Wow, I didn't hear that.
It just came out, probably. So I guess they've been reporting it all day. I haven't really been paying attention. I've been paying more attention to the Keaton Jones thing, so I didn't see that.
Wow. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised by anybody anymore.
You can't.
I'm not surprised by anyone. I would say that the one person that I probably was the most disappointed in was Russell Simmons.
That's interesting.
I was disappointed. I think because like
he's Uncle Russ.
Yeah, and I love the whole Zen shit. I was with that. So
right. Right.
Because I'm like, no, like I can't say I was shocked, but I was disappointed.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't really attached any. Not that I didn't attach that much personal feeling to that. It was just like, oh, I'm disappointed in you, kind of thing. But I didn't give it that much, weight. But it's interesting. I think that based on the men in my own life and my own experiences, I think the reason that it seems so insidious right now is because a lot of men, obviously the ones that have been broadcasted the loudest have been really extreme cases, but I think a lot of men have been completely clueless to the ways that they were actually harassing women. Like, exactly. Some of them really didn't fucking know.
Yeah, they're like, what? Like, some guys are like, I can't even hug a woman now. Wait a minute, sir. We're not talking about you. We're not talking about you can't hug your coworker that you've known for 4 years. We're not talking about you. If you actually are looking like at these women who have been raped and sexually assaulted and sexually harassed and going, well, I mean, I can't hug a woman now. I'm like, no, if you're a predator, you can't do these things.
Right.
If you're not a predator, then you're totally fine.
Exactly. And can you just ask her if it's all fucking K? Like, all you have to do.
Is it so hard to say?
It must be. Hard? It must be. Like, all you have to do is say, may I have a hug? And she gets to then choose yes or no.
Yeah. I mean, how dare this woman, like, have a choice in the matter of who touches her? Mm-hmm. I mean, how dare you? It's crazy to me too, guys. It's crazy to me too.
I think too, though, like, I think the biggest, the conversation, and I think I talked about this on another episode. I don't know if it's aired or not, but the biggest conversation that's not being had, though, is the touch deprivation that creates this kind of behavior to begin with. Because men are touch deprived. They're touch deprived. Okay. And, like, as women, we get to touch one another well beyond once we get into the double digits numbers where people just don't think you're as cute anymore, because that's like a thing. So, when people don't look at you with the same level of adoration as they do when you're really small, girls still are allowed to touch one another. Like we're allowed to hug and hold hands and stuff. Boys don't get that though. Like once they get to a certain age, once, the last touch comes from their mama. And once he gets to the age where he starts being ripe, where he outside playing and come in smelling like a puppy dog, she don't want to do it either. And after that, nobody's like touching, like, so, like largely aside from fist bumps and maybe bumping into people accidentally in the hallway at school, they're really not getting touched. Especially if they happen to be what society labels as not on the attractive curve. And so maybe, and you notice,
a lot of these dudes, they not really that cute. These ones that's on this, they're not that, I mean, and I'm not saying that handsome is, I mean, I'm by societal standards, not what people deem attractive either. I mean, I'm fucking sexy as hell, but that's my own personal opinion. But
hello.
Right? Like, but according to what society deems as attractive, I don't fit that bill either. So I'm just saying, but the men that have been getting in trouble right about now, they aren't the people that when you look that would be like sexiest man alive.
That's very true. Somebody brought that up because, you know, they were like, you know how memes are like the thing now. And someone put a meme up like, you know, would you call it sexual harassment if like Chris Hemsworth did this?
No.
And you just kind of go,
that's the truth.
It's like, let me tell you something. He'd have to keep his hands off. His hands would be fine all over me. And if he touched me, I'd be like, well, I got to suck this dick. That's how I feel. Well, I'm sucking some dick tonight. That's how I feel.
But you know what? I mean, we're making light of it, but that shit is real because even when we are just in our regular life, like we're not Hollywood, you know, celebrity or nothing. We just regular folks doing regular shit on a regular basis. But even in your regular life, if you go out on a date with a dude that isn't that cute and he starts pressuring you for sex, you got a bigger problem with it. It wouldn't even be a conversation. If he was hot, and he was like, come on, Stephanie, you'll be like, all right.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's just real. And I think that the other piece to the touch deprivation thing that's really important, and nobody wants to admit it, but attractive people get treated better, period, by their parents, by society, by everyone. And if you are not what someone deems as attractive, like on a societal scale, even as a child, you're treated differently. And if you were just an awkward child that grew up to be an awkward adult, which is exactly what we're seeing the most of, these are like awkward adult men that are having these issues. And so they're being touched less because dating is even when your money get long. Because a lot of these dudes got long cash, right? Even when your money gets long, you still not able to pull the kind of chicks that Brad Pitt. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You know what's interesting? And it's kind of like it was like splatter against the wall and kind of went away. Ed Westwick, the guy from Gossip Girl, I think Gossip Girl, he's an attractive guy to some. I don't know. I wouldn't fuck him, but he's attractive. But apparently he raped some girl. Some girl alleged that he raped her. And this story went viral for a few hours, and literally nobody is talking about that.
Yeah,
and he's an attractive guy.
I haven't heard that.
Exactly. This was weeks ago, and I'm like, it's like it almost just went away
because it makes a difference.
And it's like because he was like, I don't even know her. Oh. So it's kind of like that story of Ed Westwick raped some woman allegedly. It just kind of like died down. It's like, don't even hear about it anymore. And he doesn't fit he's not attractive mold. Because he's an attractive guy. Yeah. I still wouldn't fuck him, but I can see he's pretty.
Right. I mean, and attraction is relative. I get that. But there are like, even if the person isn't your type, because there are a lot of men, let's just use celebrity because people will relate to that, universally. Yeah. But there are a lot of celebrity men that I look at them and I think, oh, he's cute, but not for me. Like I wouldn't want to be with him kind of thing. But it's not that I can't look at him and think like he's cute. And cute people get treated differently. I mean, cute babies get treated differently by their parents. That shit is real. Like if you have an ugly baby, a lot of people struggle when their baby is ugly. They won't say it out. They won't say it out loud because we would judge that.
It's true.
I knew one person. I only could think of one person, and I won't even give a descriptor of how I know her because it would be really obvious. So I won't give a descriptor of how I know her, but this was probably 20 years ago or something, but she would say, I know my baby is ugly about her son. She would say that I know my baby is ugly. And she had a daughter after him that she thought was cute. And she would say that she would say that about her son. She never said that about her daughter. I know my baby is ugly. And it's interesting because when I heard that, cause I heard it third party, and I was like, her baby looked like her family. Like, what is she talking about? He looked like y'all. What you mad for?
Oh my God.
She's the only person that I can think of that actually said it out loud. But people do like,
okay.
But even from a scientific perspective, like when you like research like the senses and sight and stuff, that's one of the things that's been documented, that attractive people get treated differently, including by their parents.
That's true. That's true.
So, imagine being Harvey Weinstein. Like, he funny looking.
Girl.
Yeah, of course you can't even get nobody to willingly, you gotta force them to see your dick. Like, you gonna see this dick today. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's funny, but it's not funny. You know what I mean? Like, we're making fun, but the truth is that there's a whole conversation about all of this that is not being had about touch deprivation and about the difference between how attractive people are treated compared to people that aren't deemed attractive, because it is not accidental that the majority, and I can't think of a single one, like I didn't see the Gossip Girl guy thing, but I can't think I can't think of anybody else that I'll be like, what, him? Every one of them, you like, yep, I can see you doing that.
Yeah, it's really funny because I've talked to a couple of people and they were very surprised about Matt Lauer. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't put it past anybody.
I wasn't surprised at Matt Lauer. I wasn't surprised at him.
I wasn't either. I was like, no, I'm not surprised. They shipped somebody to the other side of the country because of him.
Wow.
Ann Curry is gone. It's like, I told somebody, I was like, 2 words, Natalie Morales. She now works in California.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this man, it's like, but even if I didn't know, like, hear all the different rumors about him, I'd have been like, I'm not surprised. But the whole thing with Harvey Weinstein, that had been rumors. They joked about it openly at award shows for years.
Because apparently Seth MacFarlane is an oracle, because they be predicting shit on Family Guy.
He joked about it at an award show.
Right. And I'm like, they joked about Trump being president on Family Guy years ago.
They did it on The Simpsons too.
Right. Like,
they were like, Donald Trump's going to be president.
That shit is crazy. I'm like, they got like a time machine on those shows. Because the shit be real. Like, They also joked about.
Can you predict something else?
It was Kevin Spacey was on the Family Guy. There was an episode where Stewie
really,
there was an episode where Stewie said something about like getting trapped in Kevin Spacey's apartment or something crazy. Like, I can't remember the exact line, but yeah, it was a Kevin Spacey joke that alluded to him being like a pedophile.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Wow. That's the thing. I haven't watched Family Guy in a while. And it's funny that I'm talking about The Simpsons. I still watch The Simpsons, but I haven't watched Family Guy in a while. I haven't watched South Park in a while. And I just watched their most recent one when they were, I guess, making fun of Trump. Even though they said in the new season
South Park is still on?
South Park is still on, girl.
Look, how slow am I? I did not know. The only reason I know about Family Guy, I have a daughter. She's 22. And when she eats, she either has to listen to classical music or she has to watch Family Guy. I don't know what that's about.
That's interesting.
Yeah, she even if she's on her cell phone, like if we're at home and we're not like having a group dinner, like if it's just her eating by herself, like those are the things. She's like, I have to put on Family Guy or she has to listen to. If we eat as a group,
that's really
it's classical music. Yeah, like if we're sitting down to eat together, it has to be classical. But if she's eating by herself, it's Family Guy. I don't know where she got that from. But it's a thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I ear hustle on Family Guy more than I actually watch it.
That ear hustle.
But yeah, Seth MacFarlane and his writers apparently know some shit because and they don't have no problem about saying something and waiting for it to come to fruition.
That is crazy to me. That is so crazy.
I wasn't surprised at Kevin Spacey either. But I was saddened by Kevin Spacey for selfish reasons. Because one of the things I liked so much about him was that I didn't know shit about him. That's what I liked about him as an actor. I was like, I don't have to read nothing about him. When I see him in character, I get to see the character and not him.
And that's it.
But now that he ain't working, I guess it ain't going to be a problem. It ain't going to be a problem. I was going to say, now I'll see him. Nope. I guess I won't be seeing him. So it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Yeah. It'll be just fine.
It'll be just fine. I mean, I'm grateful that that women are feeling like they can speak up. I'm grateful for the first women that came forward. But I'm also
Yeah.
really disappointed in the media because I think about
Ooh.
all of the women, all of the like Latina women who are working in hotel rooms that's probably getting harassed like a motherfucker on a daily basis. And I ain't seen their news story about them.
Tell about it. Talk about it.
Like, you know, about, or all the black women who probably done got their ass grabbed just on GP. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
you know, if because they, or all the women who work in, you know, industries where they are getting harassed on a regular basis, all the Asian women that are working in massage parlors that are expected to give happy endings. Like, why the fuck aren't we hearing about their stories?
Oh, you know, I have to bring her up because I freaking love this woman. I don't know why. She just makes me laugh. Cardi B.
Right?
I love her.
She's
Cardi
B,
B, I love her. I don't know why she is that hood friend that everybody needs. Everybody needs Cardi B as your friend. So she was like at an event, and so like of course she used to be a stripper. Everybody knows that if you watch Love and Hip Hop. I didn't watch it, but I knew about Cardi B because everybody talk about her. But she was at an event and somebody grabbed her ass. And she was like, what the fuck are you doing? Did you just grab my ass? And so she reacted. And, you know, it was, of course, it went on social media. And the majority of guys said, well, she used to be a stripper. What should she expect?
What?
I should expect not to be grabbed.
Right.
It's like, I don't care if she used to be a stripper. Who the hell cares? Is she a stripper right now? Or was she just walking through an event?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if you're a stripper or you're a sex worker, you know, you're just expected to take this. So even though there are all these women coming out, think about all the sex workers who have probably been raped and feel like they can't say anything because you go, well, I mean, you're a sex worker. I'm like, what you're doing is illegal. They could get arrested. Like, when did this happen? Well, when I was selling my body for $45, he raped me instead of giving me $45. Then you'll arrest them instead of looking for the John who raped them.
Exactly. It's, you know, but it's that stigma that still is being perpetuated around sexuality. You know, not like we didn't get here because somebody was fucking.
Exactly.
That's how I got here. Like,
I mean, I don't know. I only know of one immaculate conception.
Right.
One.
So that means that, I mean, even with the it is still like in 2017, there are still more people that came here the regular way than in vitro fertilization. You know what I'm saying? Like most of us came here regular. So the fact that we still have these hangups around sexuality is part of the problem, you know, but that's the thing that's also creating the touch deprivation in these men. Is that we have to, I think that we have to normalize sex, first of all. We got to make it normal because it's fucking normal. Like it's normal.
Very normal.
You know, it's fucking normal. Like, but we have to normalize it in terms of how we talk about it, how we react to it. You know, like we think we're hiding our children, but it's like this shame that's creating this. Shame is so potent. Shame is the reason so many women have been quiet for so long.
Exactly.
Shame is the reason that so many men are not able to vocalize their whatever kink they have. You know, but if there was no shame around sexuality and you want to pee on somebody, you could vocalize it because guess what? There's somebody out there that's going to let you pee on them.
Exactly. It may not be your lady.
Right.
And that's okay.
And that's all right.
Like, nigga, you pee on me, we going to have a problem. It's like,
right.
Did I say this was okay? Did I say, yeah, let it fly? Because it won't ever fly, nigga.
Right? Well, you know, remember
you a person.
Right. Well, you remember that comedian, what was his last name? Patrice O'Neal. Yes, Patrice O'Neal. Well,
yeah.
he had a urine fetish, and that was how he found out he had diabetes. Was his girlfriend used to drink his urine? Yes, his girlfriend His girlfriend used to drink his urine, and she said, your urine tastes like birthday cake. And that's how he found out he had diabetes.
Oh, my God.
I'm not making this shit up. You could Google it.
I was about to ask, like, does it taste sweet?
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Because of the sugar, because his body could no longer process sugar, it was concentrated in his urine, and she could taste it. But had he not had that fetish, he probably would have died sooner, because he ultimately died from complications of diabetes. But he probably would have died sooner, because he wouldn't have known had she not been, drinking the golden juice. All I'm saying, I'm not a golden juice drinker, but I'm saying it can be, apparently it is very useful. Who knew?
It's sterile. Apparently.
It is. It is.
I only know that from Dodgeball. It's sterile. I like the taste. I'm like, what? Or like if you're in the desert, like you know how some people like are in like disasters and crashes and everything, and like how'd you survive? I drank my urine. Wait, what now?
Well,
So I feel like if you like on a desert island or you were marooned somewhere and you don't have no water and the only thing you can drink is your urine, I feel like okay. It's
well,
like all right.
Look, Stephanie, how many times you been fucking and his sweat dripped in your mouth? You drank his urine. It's the same thing.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, you know, in small quantity though.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like
it's like in my brain, I'm like,
it's less than a shot. It's less than a shot.
Okay.
You know, it's way less than a shot. Like I never took a shot. I never took a shot of sweat or a shot of urine, but I done had a few drips, like
drip drops.
I done had a few drips, and you know, preferably it's nice when the drips are from someone that stays hydrated because it tastes not that salty. I'm really grateful for those people. Right. That is, I'm so glad you drink enough water.
Right?
Like
it's like, ew, what? It tastes like fried chicken. How much did you go to Royal Farms today?
Right?
I could taste it.
Well, you know, and sweat tastes better than semen.
It does. I had to think.
It do. It tastes better than semen. Like I have willingly swallowed. It's
definitely an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste.
It is.
Ugh.
Well, you know, mostly you swallow without tasting it that much, you know, because it's usually like you're not like sipping it slow or nothing.
Yeah,
it's it's usually just like one gulp, just you know, and you finish, and so it's really aftertaste that you're tasting, not the actual thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've never like, even when I've held it in my mouth, it was so I could spit it out, not so that I could.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not like it was never like that. I never had that experience.
I can't be a spitter because I'm afraid it's going to run down my face. I'm bad at spitting, so I'm like, it's like thinking like, ooh, bad medicine. Just.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, do it.
You know, though, I have swallowed semen that kind of upset my stomach. Have you ever had that?
No.
Yeah, like where afterwards
it just made you nauseous?
Yeah, just like the person had, I guess, feasted on some bitter tasting things. And when I swallowed it, like I was just kind of like that. I kind of don't feel good now. Like,
so did it taste differently? Like, I don't think I want to do this again. But did it taste differently?
It was bitter, but it was bitter to the point where it almost was metallic-y. You know, it was like really bitter.
Oh.
Wow. I was just like,
was he drinking motor oil?
I don't know, but I had to eat a ginger chew afterwards. You know, I carry the ginger chews in my purse for just in case but not usually for semen swallowing purposes, but you know, just in case you get.
I'm gonna say, like, hold on. I'm like, I gotta carry these ginger chews. Why do you have them?
Yeah, well, you know, like
you don't know.
They taste good, but then like you never know. You go out to eat somewhere, and I've been out with people where they're like, you know, my stomach feel a little upset. I'm like, let me give you a ginger chew. You know, and then they're like, oh, I feel better. I'm like, I know, right? Because ginger is magical. So I just always have ginger chews. So
I might have to start doing that.
You know, they're really useful. I mean, even not for semen swallowing, that was a bonus because I didn't expect that. But even just for regular stuff, like, you know, you sometimes like maybe you go out to eat and maybe you got a little indigestion. It doesn't even have to be that you feel queasy or nauseated. Like maybe you just feel a little, you know, like maybe I shouldn't have ate that last French fry kind of thing. You know, the ginger chew kind of settles it a little bit.
Okay, that's good to know.
They sell them at Trader Joe's, but they also sell them. I've also seen them at Whole Foods and it was somewhere else I've seen them, but they're really inexpensive. Like they come in a little bag and they're really, you know, they're useful.
Okay. Anything from Trader Joe's. It's like
everything.
You had me at Trader Joe's.
Yeah, well, that's where I get mine. I love Trader Joe's. That's my favorite store. Went there last night. But you know, the ginger chews, they taste better than like Tums, you know? Like Tums is all chalky and shit, but ginger chews, I mean, they're a little spicy because ginger is a little spicy, but they work fast. Yeah. They work fast, so they're really useful. Okay. So definitely pick you up some ginger chews. And
I have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, and if you happen to have some spunk that makes your stomach hurt, you'll have a ginger chew.
Yeah, look, it'd be right by the bed. Why? You're like, what's this for?
Right?
Don't worry about this. Just enjoy.
Right?
Okay.
Like this is preventative. This is preventative. Like,
I know. Hello.
Just in case. Look, just in case you've been eating the wrong thing and it make my stomach hurt.
Right.
Yeah, that
Right.
only happened to me one time. That was a long time ago. I was like, oh my God,
Okay.
like, what the fuck what was happening? I mean, what were you eating?
You're so funny. You're
I
so
did
funny.
not expect us to be talking about swallowing semen. Like,
It's a sensuality podcast. I didn't think we talk about swallowing.
right? This is the first time I've talked about
I
sucking
like
dick,
it was on the menu.
but I've never talked about swallowing till today.
What?
Yeah.
Well, pop the cherry. Go on.
You know, look, I don't know how many more cherries I got, but
Well, I mean, maybe that's the last one. Who knows?
I think there's a few things. Yeah, I could think of a few.
Okay.
Yeah, I could think of a few.
Okay.
Okay, so like let's talk about dating. So
Ooh,
now that
boy.
we live in this, swipe left, swipe right kind of world, do you
Mhm.
feel that dating is easier or harder?
It's so much harder.
Why?
Niggas don't know how to date. They literally don't. They literally don't. I get the guys going, WYD. Like right now, I'm at work. 20 minutes later, WYD. Nigga, I'm still at work. Or, when you gonna let me see you? When you ask me on a date. I literally just did this maybe like a few days ago. Guy was like, oh, when am I want to see you. Then ask me out.
Mm-hmm.
He literally wrote back, okay.
And didn't say shit.
Spoiler alert, he has not asked me out. It's becoming like so tiresome of guys going WYD, because apparently we pay for letters and we can't just write out, hey, what are you doing?
Right.
It's like, we don't pay for letters anymore. Massa gave us whole word. We can type them all in. And y'all nignogs are still writing HRU. First time I saw it, I went, what does that mean?
What's HRU?
How are you? And I'm thinking like, y'all can't. Exactly. You can't write out whole words. It's just easier.
I am so not. I don't know. I know
Girl.
LOL and BRB, and I do know WYD, but I just found that one out this year.
Girl, it's so annoying. Or guys like, when you gonna let me see you? When you ask me out on a date? Well, I am asking you. No, actually, you're not.
Right?
You're asking me a different question. The question you asked is when you're going to see me. And I answered your question when you ask me out. But nignogs have decided that they don't have to. Or better yet, keep going. If I invite you over, how about you just come to my house? Sir, I've never met you before.
Right?
Why am I coming to your house where I don't know where all the knives are? Why am I coming to that place where I don't know where all the exits are, where all the knives are, and or if there's a gun in the house? I don't know all the exits. Or if you want to come to my house, I'm like, see, no, because if something does happen, the first question I get is, well, why would you invite somebody over that you don't know?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be my fault if something happens, even though you're the one who attacked me. It'll be like, well, what were you wearing? And why would you just invite him over? Because I wanted some dick. I feel like I can't tell the cop this.
But
I feel like they will be like,
shouldn't you be able to say that?
You should be able to, but we know that may not be the best. Why did you invite this stranger over? Because I wanted some dick.
We're able to say that about other shit. I wanted some chips. I went to the store. I wanted some chips.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? We should be able to say, like, I wanted some dick. Like, there's nothing fucking wrong with that. And maybe when the dick got there, you changed your fucking mind.
Especially when the dick is girl, this guy, no lie. It was like a hookup. This man took off his pants and all I smelled was funk, and I was
shit.
My lady boner just went blur. I'm like, get out. You can't be walking in here with your sweaty balls, and I can smell it. Like, for one, I'm not putting my mouth anywhere near that funk, and you definitely not putting that funk in me. So you gonna have to figure this out.
Look, now I need a ginger chew. Like,
girl, I wish I had a ginger chew because I was like, oh God, no.
Oh my God, that is terrible.
Ugh. See, that'll make me go soft so quick. Bad hygiene.
Yes, indeed.
No.
I've had really great dating experiences in terms of
okay.
I've never had. Let me think. Let me see if I'm about to lie or not. Let me think if I ever had a bad hygiene experience. No, Yeah, I haven't had that. You know, I also I remember one of my friends used to always talk about Buttercup when we were younger. She'd be say, she used to say, you can't fuck no guy with a bag on his dick. That was her version of uncircumcised. If he got a bag on his dick, he'll have Buttercup, which is I guess if the head doesn't get retracted all the way back and there is a collection of, semen or just juice that I guess kind of pools there. Now, I've never seen it with my own eyes, but that's what she used to call it, Buttercup. I thought that was the standard name, so I grew up thinking that that's what you call it, Buttercup. I had never seen it before, but that's why when I did start having sex, I was always checking for circumcised, because that's what she told me. She's older than me.
Yeah.
That's what she used to say all the time. He got a bag on his dick. He might have Buttercup. So
I don't think I've ever been with anybody uncircumcised. So
I have, and
that's interesting.
It's fascinating to look at. It's because they look a little bit different only when they're resting, because when it's erect, the foreskin retracts, so the penis is out. But when it's not erect, it just looks like there's a sheath pulled down over it. That's what it looks like. But
okay.
Yeah, so it's just like an extra piece of skin that is able to slide up to cover. So it's a genius design, because back when we lived on the bush and there were no pants or underwear, it kept shit out of the dick. So it was useful. And, vaginas everywhere rejoiced that there wasn't dirt on the dick. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, in terms of how they feel and stuff, there's no difference. They just look different when they're soft.
Okay.
But I've been with several men that were uncircumcised and never had a Buttercup experience. I'm happy to announce.
Girl, I'm happy for that, because that would just be gross.
Yes. Well, I think that I've known men that got circumcised when they were older, which I think is just torturous. That I think that if they're going to circumcise, it should be when they are infants, because there's just less everything. I mean, in terms of pain, but I've known guys that didn't get circumcised until they were 12 or 13. And on those guys, you can see the difference in color very starkly, because you can see the line around the shaft of the penis where they actually, cut the foreskin off. So I can only imagine how painful that must be at 13, when you're fully aware of what your penis is for and everything. That must be painful. So I feel like if it's something that is going to be done, it seems like it should be young. At the same time, I feel you take away the boy's choice. And I think about I don't want the hood of my clitoris removed. That, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of I don't know if that's cool for boys either. Anyways, I don't know. I don't have a son.
You have no one to ask.
Yep,
so
I don't have a son, so I didn't have to make that choice. I've got one daughter, and I definitely wasn't I did not want to inhibit my child's pleasure. It was so important to me for my daughter to grow up to be the kind of woman that could experience sexual pleasure without shame. I don't know why that was important to me, but it was. And I'm grateful, now she's really comfortable in her sexual skin. She's 22. I'm grateful that she feels, comfortable in her body. Because I see so many women that don't have that. Now I'm ooh, I was really advanced. I didn't know why that was important. But, now that, now I work with women that some of them, I've worked with women in their 60s that didn't feel comfortable in their sexuality because there was so much shame put on them around it, which is unfortunate.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But yeah, for those people that do have sons, I'd be curious. Look, now the next time I talk to a woman on this show that has a son, I'm going to ask her, did you get your son circumcised? And did you worry that you were taking away his choice?
That's an interesting point.
Yeah, there's so many things. So many things.
Right.
So many things. So since you live in Maryland, that means that you're not too far from Chocolate City. And you telling me that the dating pool is not great? Oh.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
Because I have guys from DC who are like, I gotta drive all the way up there. Why can't you drive to DC? And I'm sitting here like, you do realize the same amount of distance from you to Maryland is a distance that you want me to travel from Baltimore to DC.
That's, you know,
What?
now, are you only having this experience with black men?
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
not interested in dating other guys?
No, I'm definitely interested. I just haven't dated. Well, actually, one guy that lived in Delaware. It was a white guy. And so we have been talking back and forth and talking about meeting. And I was like, okay, we can find, I was like, let's find a halfway point. He's like, oh no, that's still too far. And I mean, I live all the way in Delaware. Why don't you come here? You want me to drive to Delaware and go to a restaurant that's down the street from your house? No, what? It's like, so that's the only white guy that has kind of been like, nah, but I haven't really dated. Well, actually, and it was a white guy I was talking to. He was like in DC, and he's like, oh yeah, you're a little too far. So, let's not talk anymore. Like he just didn't want to talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't quote unquote easily accessible.
That's so crazy
But
to me.
majority of it is black men. It's like, huh.
Well, you know, I live in California, so, you know, we like Californians, we think that we know about, you know, having limited access to other cultures, but we don't. It's like, it's so diverse here that it's easy for us to get the idea that the country really looks like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
right.
It doesn't. You know, so like, I think people in California, the black friends that I have, their challenge is the opposite. They feel like the dating pool of black men is too small here.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. That's I mean, now I've been always pretty diverse. Like I think I only dated black guys up until like my early 20s, but I remember having crushes on Latino guys when I was when I was younger, like my first
Can
crush.
I just tell you?
Right?
I'm currently crushing on Asian guys.
Really?
Yes. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just crushing on Asian guys right now.
Well, I think that you should go on and start sampling, you know.
Girl.
Go on and start sampling. I slept with an Asian guy one time.
Mm-hmm.
Look, this is being recorded.
Wait, don't tell me. Let's just skip your experience. I don't want he might be listening like, what the hell did you know, just say?
I was just going to say I don't remember his name.
That's the best kind.
Once upon a time, I don't remember his name. I do remember we went to a great Chinese food restaurant.
Okay.
And he drove a really nice car. He drove a really nice car. And we ended up going to this really nice hotel room. And it must have been like uneventful because I don't remember thinking like, oh my God, it was terrible, or oh my God, it was great. I don't have any recollection of that. So it must have been all right, but we never did see each other again. Is that the only Asian guy? Yeah, I think that's the only Asian guy I've ever. I've dated a lot of white guys. Yeah, I've dated a lot of white guys, and I've dated a couple of Latin guys, but I've been treated really well by white men. I mean, I've been treated really well by black men as a whole. And I'm also very attracted to black men though, because I think I'm very attracted to what I am. So I'm very like when I'm in a room, like if I walk into a room, my chemistry picks up on the black guy in the room. Like I can, you know, like if he's the kind of black guy that I'm attracted to, like I love him real black. I love me a real black man. Like I like him dark. You know, I like him dark. I like him a little thick. You know, look, and if he could pick my big ass up, he gets extra cool points for that.
Girl.
Like, so I like him. I like ball.
Any guy's like, heads. Come here, girl. Let me pick you up. It's like, oh, what are we gonna do now?
Yes, like
then what's gonna happen?
I am here for that. I am here for it. But I like them with bald heads. I love a manicured beard. Like I like them to look distinguished. Like
I'm in the beard gang. I'm in the beard gang. I'm like, man.
Yes.
I love a dude with facial hair and a beard.
Mm-hmm.
I love the polo on it. I'm like, oh.
I am with you. But if I see that dude, like, I don't even have to see that dude. Like, I can smell that dude. You know,
girl,
like I walk into a room I'm looking for. I tell him, like, somebody is here. Like, cause I can feel it. Like, I can feel it. And I don't have that visceral response to any other culture.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't have that kind of response to any other culture. Other cultures, I don't know if I'm attracted to them until I have a conversation. That's when I know, that I'm attracted. Except for this one time. Except for this one time. This one time, it was this white dude. He was handsome. He was handsome. He was tall, and we were at this restaurant, and my daughter and I had gone to the restaurant a lot of times, and I had never seen him before. So like, as soon as he wasn't even near me, but I picked up on his scent, like far away. He was probably at least 15 feet away from me. And I looked over and I was thinking, does he work here? Because he had on like the same colors as the other people, but his outfit was different. So I was like, does he work here? And he was like talking to some patrons, and he ended up coming over to our table and asking us if we were enjoying our meal. And I immediately saw that he was attracted to me too. And I was so excited because it was like I had gone through this whole thing where I realized how many of the people I had been involved with that I liked them because they liked me and not because I genuinely liked them. So this was like a really great moment because I was like, oh my God, this is me having real desire for this man. And so I was very excited about that because I was like, this is my desire. Like, I'm desiring him. And I know it's mine because he can't see me yet. And I'm feeling him,
right.
As opposed to someone recognizing me and then me just liking that they liked me, which has been a thing. I didn't know it was a thing until I discovered it was a thing. It was a thing. But but I was very attracted to him. And that was my first time having that kind of like visceral, like my body chemistry is drawn to your body chemistry kind of connection with somebody that wasn't Black. He was so cute though. He was so handsome. But yeah, he was very, very handsome. And he was a managing partner in this restaurant. So he had a good job, but I think that the fact that he was handsome was a disservice to his emotional intelligence.
Oh.
Because I think because he was handsome, he never had to develop emotional intelligence in that way.
And that's a dangerous thing.
Yes, it is. Because, and I
that's
think
so dangerous.
I think that happens to a lot of attractive people though, because they don't think that they have to. Like, they show, it's played out in the movies all the time. The handsome jock is always a fucking dick. And it just speaks to the fact that so often,
exactly.
or like the really attractive girl is always a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, but it speaks to like in real life that we give so much, like back to our other conversation, attractive people get passes. So it's certain shit that certain skills and behaviors that they just never cultivate because they just never had to. And I think that that was his challenge, and I also think that he had some core wounding and because he also had a validation thing. Like, he was very hard on himself and very hard on himself and his ability. So that really translated into like, he had a very fragile masculinity about him.
Wow.
Which was interesting. I should also add that he was a fine white boy, but he grew up around our cousins. So he had Black boy swag,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a little seasoning. Had a little seasoning, but yeah, that was the first time that I had ever had that kind of attraction to somebody, like that visceral, like I haven't even talked to you yet kind of attraction with somebody that wasn't Black. Because typically with people from other cultures, I really don't feel an attraction or a spark until after we're engaged in communication, which is fine because I'm a communicator. So I like that. I like, fuck my brain, please. Like, I love that. So, but with black men, I have, if they fit what I like, I can smell them from miles away. I'm like, he must be here.
Ooh, I smelled him.
Exactly. So like I'm excited for you to get you some Asian flavor.
Please help.
Asian guys are cool. They have really great. I was just talking. Who was I talking to? I was telling my girlfriend about watching Korean dramas, which like we love Korean dramas at my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they are good, and there's a lot of them on Netflix. In case you want to look at one. One of my favorites that I think you should start with is called Oh My Venus. It was a series. I think it's like 12 or 13 episodes. And I think it came on a network called Drama Fever, which is I think Drama Fever is a Korean network, but I'm not 100%. But I think Oh My Venus is on Netflix. Anyway, it's really cute and it's really great. But I just love the Asians have great fashion sense. They just really have great fashion sense. Look, I hope nobody's listening to this thinking we're stereotyping. I'm
trying not to.
Yeah, I'm not saying all Asians got great fashion sense. I'm saying that's one of the things that I like about the Asians that I know. Like, I have Asian friends. Like, one of the things that I really enjoy about the Asian friends that I have and the Asian people that I know is I love how they put outfits together.
Right?
Like,
exactly.
They do. One of my really great friends, she is Japanese, and one of the things I loved about her is that she now lives she lived in another state for several years, but now she lives in Northern California. But when she lived local, she would invite me over for dinner, and after dinner she would like pack up the leftovers so I could take them for lunch the next day, and I loved that shit. Like,
she's so sweet.
Yeah, when she left, I was so brokenhearted. Like, I went to wine tasting and I was like, once I got like a little saucy, I was like crying to strangers. I was like, my friend is moving and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I was like, who's gonna have coffee dates with me on Sunday? Who's gonna feed me? And who's gonna pack my lunch? Like, she was really like, she's still such a great friend. She was so great. But I loved that she was so caretaking. And that was really, really, awesome. Really lovely. I've heard, and I haven't been to Japan, but one of my cousins in fact, he and his wife are stationed in Japan right now, but they lived there for a while because they both are in the military. And I've heard that the level of service that you get, like in terms of customer service in Japan, is unparalleled to anywhere in the world. That's what I've heard. And I've heard that from multiple people.
Huh, that's interesting.
And just based on like the majority of the Asian friends that I have happen to be Japanese because of where I live at. But they, in terms of like how they treat you when you go to their house, it's amazing. Like, you feel so well taken care of. So I can imagine. That's good. Like a whole culture.
I had a friend that I used to work with. She actually works somewhere else now. I gotta reach out to her. She was the same way. She was so nurturing and so loving. Like, we would go to lunch. Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Yeah, get whatever you want. Get anything. Girl, you need more food than that. Get that. Get that. Get that. I'm like, what the? Can I move in with you?
Right? You know, and again, these are not stereotypes. These are just our experiences.
It's just observation.
Look, it'll be somebody that listens to this and come up with some bullshit that we being racist and we're not. Like,
no. I'm like, no. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, you know, isn't it crazy that we live in a culture now that we have to disclaim everything before we say it? We gotta put a disclaimer on every goddamn thing. Everything you say can be misconstrued.
Exactly. Yeah. It can be, because I think it's a double-edged sword, because it kind of is a good thing, because we didn't used to be that way. We would just say shit and it would actually be out there offending somebody, and you wouldn't know because they'd never just tell you. Like, the thing that I have noticed, and I noticed like maybe a year or two ago, the spirit animal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I saw it on Twitter where Kerry Washington, now she's famous, and said, "Oh, that's my spirit animal." And someone who was Native American said to her, "Okay, that is really, really offensive." And instead of her going, "Oh, you know what I meant," she was like, "I had no idea." Which, by the way, Stephanie didn't have any idea either. I was like, "Oh, wow,
Yeah,
really?"
right.
And it was just like, so now I'm making a point not to do it. And then when other people do it, I'm like, that's offensive to Native Americans. They're like, how do you know? Because a Native American said it.
Right.
And so I'm like, you can say Patronus. That's offensive to who? Wizards? Harry
Yes,
Potter?
right?
The fake person? The Patronus that's completely made up? You can say Patronus. It's okay.
Right?
And I have a friend who I said it to her like it's offensive. And now she says Patronus. I'm like, good use of the word. And she's like, yeah, I learned. It's like, I didn't jump down her throat or anything. I was just like, that's offensive.
Well, you know what?
I mean, I try not even.
Look, now you done conjured a question out of me.
Ooh.
Okay, so like I'm in my 40s, so I grew up as a black girl. I was black all the way until I was in my 20s, and then all of a sudden I became African American. I don't really know what happened. So how do you feel about being called black as opposed to African American?
See, that's because so I'm in my 30s.
Did you grow up black
when I was
too?
in college, I grew up black, and then all of a sudden I got to like high school, college, and it became African American because I went to a predominantly white school. So then I was always African American. Me, I see it as interchangeable, but then you have African friends who live here, and they're like, I'm African American. I'm like, you're right. You are. I'm like,
that's the reason. Africa? Yeah, that's the reason I never call myself African American, because I do have African friends, or have known African people, and I'm like, technically, you are from Africa that you can trace back to like yesterday, and to me, they're African American. I mean, I would have to dig a lot to find out how long ago, and you know what I'm saying. So, I mean, I grew up black, but then like people will ask me, oh, I'm sorry, like, do you find that offensive, like being called black? And I'm like, no, but I have heard people that say that they were offended by it. I'm not offended by it though.
I'm not either, because there's some people like, man, you can just call me black, or nope, don't call me black, call me African American, because that's where my ancestors are from. Really, girl? What part?
Right?
Tell me. I'll wait. Don't worry. I'll let you go get, your ancestry.com test done, and you'll tell me.
Right. Like one of my really close friends, like her father is from Africa.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, now I'm gonna text her when we hang up and see, like, I don't know what her preference is, but like, if she said it, like, her dad is from Africa. So, like, that to me, like, it would make sense. Like, I mean, I guess if you grew up, like, of course, I think my daughter, I'm not sure how I'll have to ask her too. I'm not sure how she identifies, but I think that she probably has only known African American. Okay. So, I mean, like, she's a millennial, so she might not have ever been called black, really. But, in fact, African American wasn't a Scantron choice when I was a kid. It was black.
It was black.
It was black.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
I like black, white. I think they recently started adding, like, are you Latino? Or are you non-Latino? I'm like, wait.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because it's like, are you Latino are you black with non-Hispanic origin?
Yeah.
Which my last name is Herrera, but I don't have Hispanic origin. I married a Hispanic.
Yes, girl.
I don't have no Hispanic origin. But people sometimes assume it, like, are you from the Dominican Republic? No, I'm from California. Like, nah, I'm from California. But people assume that. Sometimes I get like mail in Spanish just because my last name is Herrera. I'm like, look, I can only read a little Spanish. Like, I don't know what the fuck this says. But yeah, it gets assumed. So yeah. So I'm glad we talked about that. I'm glad we talked about race, because I always wanted, I guess I didn't always want her. I would have asked somebody before. But but it made me think about it, because I have had the thought by myself, like, when did I become African American? So, I mean, I guess it's a
Right.
preference, but I don't mind. I'm not offended if someone calls me African American. I just don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's as accurate, because then what do you call people that are like really from Africa that end up coming here? What are they called?
Right.
Like,
I mean, because then we would have to call, what's her name? Charlize Theron. I'm like, she's African American.
She's African American.
Because she's from South Africa.
Yeah,
I'm like,
she's African American.
She's African American.
They're
like, wait. I'm like, they didn't know.
People don't want to give them credit. I remember being in middle school, and one of my friends liked this guy, and he was from, I think he was from Ethiopia. Was he from Ethiopia? No, he was from Egypt. I knew it was an E country. He was from Egypt.
Oh, okay.
And he wasn't black from Egypt, but her father didn't want her to date him. And that was his argument. He was like, why? I'm from Africa. Like, and what can you say to that? Nothing. Like, that's what he said. He was like, why? I'm from Africa. And her father still didn't go for that shit, but, like at the time, he still was like, no, because I don't know that I can't remember specifically. So, cause I don't want to be like, oh, her dad was discriminating. Cause I don't know that was his issue, like, I don't know if it was just that her age or whatever, and him not wanting his daughter to be like officially dating. Cause I think we were in like 9th grade or something. So I don't want to say that was what the issue was, but I remember very, very clearly her saying that he said that and me thinking, that's true, like, so yeah. Look, you just bring up all of the great questions, Stephanie.
I do it. Well, you know what this means?
What does it mean?
That means you have to come on the Mocha Minutes podcast.
Oh, yes. I would love to. Like, you have such great podcast energy.
Well, thank you, man.
You have the kind of personality that seems like you should be hosting a show like your show.
Yes, and I also need a co-host. So if you know somebody, please send them my way.
Well, you know what's so interesting? I have somebody that I think her personality, I don't know if she's interested in co-hosting, but I know someone that has a personality she's my friend that I said is her dad's from Africa, but her personality is very similar to yours in terms of like your sense of humor, and she's got a great laugh just like you've got a great laugh. And I really could see you guys having a really great time chatting with one another. And she's very knowledgeable. She's very well spoken. She's also very well traveled. Look, I'm happy to say that she has traveled to.
Well, can she take me with her?
Oh, look.
No, if I listen to Amanda Seals, y'all need to get a passport. Hey, shut up, bitch. But the thing about it is, like, I don't have a passport. I'll be completely transparent. But it's never been like I have to get one, because if I don't, then I'm not like it's a status thing. I'm like, look, I don't have one right now. It's on the list.
Mine, I think mine expired this year because I haven't traveled in a while, so I do need to renew. I have
Girl.
One. But you'll enjoy her, and like if travel is something you're interested in, when I tell you she finds all of the traveling deals, all of them. Like she turned 40 this year, but she had made a commitment to herself years ago that she was going to see all 50 states by the time she turned 40. And she did.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, I will definitely, I'm going to send her a text after we get off and see if she's interested.
Oh, please do.
At the very least, like you guys can talk or whatever, but I think that you would really enjoy her. And I would listen to both of y'all, because I'm telling you, like, you have very similar, like humor, like your voice inflection. She's from Philly. So, yeah.
Hey, fly, Eagles, fly. Then we can talk about these Eagles. I need somebody to talk about football with. Let me tell you something. I'm crying right now because my quarterback tore his ACL week fucking 14. What the entire hell is going on here? I mean, not Nick Foles is not a bad backup, but I'm just saying that hurt my heart. We 11-2. God damn it.
Look, I don't know shit about football. Look, I never could follow the game. Like, I'm like, they stop too much.
I can't follow basketball. That's
I love basketball.
I'm not one of those people. They're like, I feel like people gonna take my black card because I say I don't watch basketball. I'm like, I really don't. I don't know the fouls. I don't know how the defense works. All I know is it's 5 dudes with probably big dicks on the damn court.
Okay.
Dribble, dribble, squeak, squeak, squeak. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Squeak, squeak, squeak. That's all I know.
Yeah, see, I was about to put somebody on blast that I heard from a very reliable source that didn't have a big dick. But I ain't gonna say his name on the air because I don't want to be that person. But as soon as we hang up, I'm gonna tell you who it is. Look, very reliable source. Very reliable source.
Woo,
like the doctor's office kind of reliable source. So I'm gonna tell you all.
Oh,
oh my God, this has been great. Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more question, and then we gonna talk off record.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is your favorite way to be taken care of after sex? Like, like at the end of a sexual experience, what kind of caretaking would make you feel complete in the experience?
What's considered caretaking?
Whatever it looks like for you. Like, it could be like, leave me alone, don't touch me, because that might be how you need to be cared for after, like, don't touch me. You know, whatever it looks like for you. Like, whatever would make you feel like, okay, this was really good.
I think it is guys who like to do soft kisses after. Guys are like, do you want something to drink? Come back and just want to cuddle after. I know some people, they're weird about that shit. Me, I like it. Mm-hmm. I like the soft kisses. I like the holding. I like just the talking after. Even though sometimes you just talk about stupid shit. You may talk about reality shows or whatever. But just that intimacy after.
Yes.
It means something. I like the soft kisses. The kisses on the shoulder. Kisses on the neck. The nibbling on the earlobe. I like that. See, I'm one of those people.
Look, I'm not mad. I like a little of those things. You know, unless it's one of those big giant orgasms where I'm like, don't touch me for about, 5 minutes.
Like,
I need you to stay
some
on your
space.
side. But otherwise, I'm here for the cuddles.
Yeah, right. It's like, woo, wait, hold on. You just blew my back out. Hold on. Give me a minute. Go to the bathroom. Go fix you some eggs. Do something. I don't care. But just leave me alone for like 10 minutes and then I'll be good.
Exactly.
I need to come down from this mountain. I need to come down.
And that's what it's like sometimes.
To the peak.
Yes.
Gotta slowly walk down. Let me walk it down.
Woosah. Well, this has been amazing. Like, look, you just made my day. I've had a really long day. I've been up since 2:30 a.m.
2:30?
Yes. And
there's a 2:30 a.m. now?
There is. Imagine that. I didn't know. I didn't know until today.
It's kind of like that's the 3:14. There's a 3:14 a.m.
Oh my God.
Really?
You were just, I love you.
Like, where y'all getting these numbers from? I feel like y'all lying. Fake news. There's no such thing. People are sleeping hours. There's no such thing as these hours that you talk about. When I'm asleep, these hours don't exist. So if it's not 6:25 a.m., if it's before that, I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, well, I hope I don't know. I don't know. I hope I don't know what I'm talking about tonight.
I know, unless we fucking at 2:30, but you're usually not looking at the clock at 2:30. You're just trying to get your nut and go back to sleep.
Well, I wasn't fucking. That's all I got to say. I wasn't fucking. Just up. Up.
Oh, shit.
Yep, just up.
The Sensuality Project is produced, edited, and hosted by me. Music by bensound.com. The Sensuality Project podcast is a production of StaceyHerrera.com.